And I've got a lot of fond memories of that band. Although it was only together for a very short time, it was a magical thing. It was very strange happening because, we never really did anything to promote it. It just spun into, sort of, one day we'd be playing to 100 people, the next week it would be 400, and the next week it would be 1,000, and the next week it would be 5, and it just spun like that. And without any sort of promotion or no money spent, it was just word of mouth. Incredible thing, and but it was a very special band, and the people in it were very unusual. I mean, the thing that most people don't realise about the original King Crimson was Robert Fripp and I. We went to the same guitar teacher a man called Don Strike, who was a great teacher. He also taught Andy Summers, and so Robert and I, we knew everything that he knew, I knew, and everything I knew, he knew. So we had this really deep understanding of each other's musical knowledge. So that was sort of a hidden behind, when you saw the band on stage, that really wasn't apparent. And it's very unusual, to find two guys in the band that had learned note for note exactly the same guitar exercises. And then Ian MacDonald, who joined the band, came straight from the military. He'd never been in a band before, and he came from a military brass band. So that was very peculiar. Good, because he had no influences at all. So he brought in a sort of, he didn't come with a sort of military influence, but he had a sort of classical background, a formal music background. And then you had Mike Giles, who was an extraordinary drummer. I used to remember he could play 4 different time signatures, one with each hand and each foot, and he could keep them all going and come back in time. The most incredible mental independence, And he used to play these extraordinarily unusual drum fills that would be completely out of time. And it would be very hard to play with them because you'd want to play out of time, but you had to mentally keep the beat going in your head so that when he came back in, you were in time. Otherwise, he would come back in and you'd be out of time, which he'd remind you about later on. Okay, here's a song from King Crimson. It's called I Talk to the Wind. Said the straight man to the late man, where have you been? I've been here and I've been there and I've been in between. I talk to the wind, my words are all carried away. I talk to the wind does not hear, the wind cannot hear. I'm on the outside, looking inside. What do I see? Much confusion, disillusion all around me. I talk to the wind, my words are all carried away. I talk to the wind does not hear, the wind cannot hear. You don't possess me, don't impress me, just upset my mind. Can't instruct me, set my mind. I talk to the wind. My words are all carried away. I talk to the wind. The wind does not hear. The wind cannot hear. Cannot hear, said the straight man to the late man, where have you been? I've been here and I've been there and I've been in between.